My question to you, I've got a few Nikon D3s. I guess should have drug one out here. As a beater camera. By the way, that's the most durable digital camera ever made by anybody. There's no such thing as a waterproof camera. They're all protected against a short-term invasive, not long-term pervasive, such as corrosion due to extended and prolonged multiple periods of exposure to high humidity from which no camera is sealed. Because interestingly enough, all these cameras have this kind of neat thing. It's called a gigantic hole on the front of the camera. That's, that's not the only place the humidity gets in, causes corrosion, but this is the reason why if you have a decent camera that you love using, instead of getting rid of it, you should ask yourself, do I really need to get rid of it for situations like this, when the weather is bad, whether it's rainy, snowy, whatever. Everybody should have a beater camera. Do you have a beater camera? A beater camera, by the way, just means a camera you beat around. You're not worried about, a possible raindrop hitting it, and it's kind of seen the end of its useful. It's an older version camera. You got something newer that you're using and is highly protective of. I think everybody, if they do a lot of photography, that they miss a lot of stuff. It's like, wow, there's a lot of neat stuff going on right now. Oh, but the weather's bad. I don't want to take my brand new camera. Everybody should have a beater camera. They should. If you can avoid getting rid of that last version or whatever the hell it is you got, why do you, do you really need to get rid of it? You should probably consider keeping it. But then, of course, I know things creep into your head thinking, well, I'm not using it except once in a while. It's just sitting around collecting dust and depreciating in value. So I know the reason why most people get rid of their cameras. I recently, last week, got rid of an old Fujifilm camera because I've got way too many Fujifilm cameras. Not an old X-T1. I got rid of one. I still have one though, and I'm going to keep that one. So for Fujifilm, I have a beater X-T1, and for Nikon, I have a beat up, basically indestructible Nikon D3. So it's kind of amazing when I talk to people how many times I hear people saying, oh, I would have gone out shooting today, but the weather sucked and didn't want to take my fancy new camera out. It's like, well, really? So you wanted to do photography, but since the weather was kind of crappy, you were afraid of getting a raindrop on it. Why don't, she's like, that's the only camera you got? Like, no, I've got two cameras, but they're all recent purchases. One's my main working camera, one's my backup camera. They're all really, yeah, have a beater camera. Have a beater camera. There's a kind of a weird analogy. I don't want to use that analogy, it's a bit too crude. Had something to do with a person having a, there was a guy who had his wife that he would make love to, and then he had his hot mistress who'd have, he'd have a steamy, freaky romance. That was kind of true back in the day, Renaissance, and even today amongst politicians I hear. It's like, there's my wife, I love her, but then there's my mistress. Yeah, let me get dirty with her. You should have a mistress camera. There's the camera that you love and you make love to, and then there's the dirty one. You get dirty with it. That's what it should be called instead of a beater camera. Call it the dirty mistress camera. Oh, I've had too much caffeine today. You ever tried this stuff? Gerolsteiner? It's German mineral water. Makes San Pellegrino taste like crap by comparison. This stuff is real. I never had mineral water that tasted so good. And this is after having lived in Russia for quite a few years. Man, Russian mineral water, they eat tons. All they do over there is drink vodka and mineral water. Like the weirdest thing in Russia is you never see like grape juice or orange juice or fruit juice. It's all mineral water or vodka. There's no in between. It's like, what would you like? Some mineral water or some vodka? How about some vodka in your mineral water? How about we dilute your vodka a little bit with some mineral water? Welcome to Mother Russia! Пиздец, блядь. Translate that from the Russian. Some Russian out there is watching this and going, ha, сумасшедший дурак, пиздец. Oh God, I hope you don't translate that. goodness.